Appreciate the question. Before I answer your question, first of all, I would like to thank all of our fans, our whole fan base, not just in Toronto, but in whole Canada. And everywhere we go on the road, we see a bunch of our fans with Toronto Raptors jerseys and cheering for us and supporting us. We do not take that lightly. That's very important for us to see and feel that love. So I wanted to thank our fans. I wanted to thank our ownership. I want to thank all of our people. Year one of rebuild. Now it's time for the next chapter, and it's time for us to make a next step. How do we get there? We get there with doubling down on our habits, doubling down on our hard work, doubling down on believing in our young players and young core, and continue to developing our team. Drink a lot of espresso. Okay, start with that. Yes, so funny enough, for last 5-6 weeks, I've been thinking a lot about summer because I know how important this summer is for our team, for myself as a coach, for whole organization. And we already are underway. We did, our coaches on staff did an outstanding job. We had projects that we're working on offensively and defensively, stuff that we need to take to another level. We did a lot of study of the parts of the game that we want to improve and continue to grow. So we have a lot of work that we want to address. For me, I want to take one step back to be able to soak in all the experiences from this year, to see, to analyze what I did well, and also to see what are my, weak spots where I need to continue to grow as a coach. And I'm not shying away from that. I've been coaching for 29 years now, and I got zero ego, and I just want to be the best version of myself, to be the best version for my team and my players. I think I'm pretty good with adjustments in games. We did it a lot this year. There is a fine balance between searching for adjustments and for tricks and really establishing good habits. Those good habits are not just necessarily development, but also establishing what we do and how we want to do, And sometimes I'm going to call a timeout, and maybe game is going to demand that I need to change coverage. Should I change the coverage if we did not put enough effort and enough attention to detail to what we need to do? So I really believe in strong habits, that they're the most important thing for a team to be successful. And for us, it's time to continue to grow. Nothing pretty much changes for us. We want to be very focused to have those daily wins, daily improvements, and continued growth. It started yesterday. During our exit interviews, I talked to all the players and I asked them for honest feedback. What can I do better to be better for you, to be better for the team? This is not about me. I'm the coach. This is about players. None of the fans are going to buy a ticket to come and watch Darko coach. It's not about that. They're coming to see players, and I completely understand that, and I'm there always for my guys. So it's very important to know what my players think. Next layer, it's very important to know what my front office thinks. It's very important for me to know what my coaches, assistant coaches think, what my medical performance think, and I'm going to have a lot of conversations with all of them to point those things out to me. I know and feel where I need to continue to grow, what are those areas for me, but I also want to hear objective opinions of people that I care about their opinion. Well, maybe it was a surprise for you or somebody else. I did not have any surprise because I know the way our front office works. I know how our scouts and everybody's putting so much work into it. Just to remind you, we went into last year's draft with 1 pick. We ended up bringing 5 rookies to our team, and our front office did an outstanding job. But apart from identifying those guys, I have to give a lot of credit to my coaching staff, all the assistant coaches, and all the work and all the love and all the time they put in to continue developing our young core and young guys. I think in modern NBA, it's very important to have 1 through 15, 1 through 18, to have all the guys that can contribute. I think that adds a lot of value to the organization. I think it adds a lot of value to the team. And I think when you have healthy competition inside the team and the players are pushing each other to be better, I think everybody wins. Everybody's improving, and team is going to be playing better. So I think everybody wins in that situation. Well, our core guys that we wanted to see them play together with RJ and Quickly and Yak and Scotty. They played 8 games together this year, something like that, 8, 9 games. So I wish they played more games together. So that did not happen, and that was not something that was in my control. That was not in our control. So we cannot look at that with any, we have any type of regrets. I think we achieved a lot. I think we were able to really position ourselves that we know what we need to do and how hard we need to play on defensive end and how that translated in games. And while talking with players yesterday, it was funny. Like players were telling me, "Coach, you got to double down. This is what's going to give us energy, our defense and our aggressiveness. Like, you got to continue keeping us accountable. We love this." And it's not easy. The way we want to play, it's not easy. It's physically demanding. It demands a lot of energy. But it was interesting that multiple players said that actually it was giving energy back to players to play that way. So that was very positive this year. I'm really proud of the effort that guys were putting in, day out. I think offensively, they're creating good habits of playing unselfishly, and this is second time in a row, second year in a row that we beat franchise record with a number of assists, which I'm very proud of. So we do share the ball. We play team basketball. We got to continue improving in execution, details. We got to continue improving with our shooting. And those are the things that we're going to really focus on this summer. I'm really proud of, first of all, he missed a big part of the season for injury, and it's never easy to come back and to find a rhythm and play, in the second part of the year. I think he's one of the hardest workers that we have in the gym. He is very intentional with his work. He's continuing to develop his body. He never played the style of basketball we want to play with pressuring full court and doing that. He started embracing that and doing that more. There is definitely another layer for him to continue doing that. And playing as a point guard and setting up his teammates, I think he made strides. And I think that he's trending into really good direction. Now, there is another layer to it, understanding what play to call when to engage other teammates, how to communicate with guys. Like I encouraged him a lot to use his voice and to start experimenting with that, and he made strides there. There is completely another level, which obviously having another summer and another full year, hopefully next year being healthy, I think he's going to get there where we all see that he can get there. NBA season is a long season, and there is a lot of going on. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of honest conversations that you got to have with players, and obviously you want to be positive and upbeat and point out things that they're doing well. But my job as a coach, as a leader, is also to address things that team or individual needs to do better, So if you have personal investment in somebody and you take time to spend one-on-one with that person on the court and off the court and go grab a lunch or a dinner, they're going to be much more open to listen when you addressing those, call it negative things, but things that they need to improve on, or team needs to improve on. So there were a lot of instances this year that really worked out well. There was a situation that, I'll give you an example, like we were on the road. We did not play well in the first half. I forgot which game it was. And I jumped on Scotty Barnes. It was not his fault. He was just fine in the first half. But I jumped on him that he needs to be better, that he needs to do more. He's looking at me like I'm crazy, and everybody else is looking at me like I'm crazy. But instead of him asking what did I do or didn't do, he said, "My bad, coach, I got to be better." And he went over there and played much harder in the second half, even harder. And it got whole team playing much better in the second half. So I think having those moments, it's very important. Seeing our guys, seeing our team on the road to go and break bread on their own without coaches or staff organizing anything for them, seeing them to get together, go watch college games and then cheer for teams there. I think there was a lot of things that we did that paid off to create better chemistry on the team and more trust on the team. Now, our summers are very important for us. We take it with a lot of seriousness, with a lot of pride. We're approaching our summers with the goal to improve and get better. Season is over now for us. There's going to be a couple of weeks we're going to give guys off, and we're going to get back to work. We're going to have our coaches go visit players. Players will come occasionally here to Toronto. Like, we always look for the opportunities that we can have smaller group of guys together, bigger group of guys together, and really address everything that we're talking about now. How do we get to the next level? How do we improve every single individual? How do we improve our defense over the course of summer? How do we improve our shooting over the course of summer? All of those things are part of what we're talking about and planning, and I always look for the summer to execute those. As a young coach, when I started coaching, I tried to mimic and to be somebody else and to act like some other coaches that were like my idols when I was young. And very quickly I realized that I cannot be anybody else. I need to be myself. I need to be true to myself and my beliefs. So I really believe in building players, building confidence, building the trust and all of those things. And I don't think that comes with just like praise. I really think it comes with hard conversations and like calling people up to the standard. Accountability is nothing else that the belief that the person can go to another level, that they can achieve something bigger and better. A lot of times, not even players are not aware that they have another gear, they have another speed, they have another way to play. My job as a coach is to get the best out of them. So sometimes it's going to be through praise, sometimes it's going to be through conversation, sometimes it's going to be over dinner, sometimes it's going to be using a lot of Serbian profanity.
Darko, how have you evolved for the past two seasons specifically?
Well, great question, and I've been asking myself that a lot. I think I'm really proud of relying much more this season on my assistant coaches, learning their strengths and allowing them to be who they are. I do have a group of amazing coaches, amazing experts, that all of them, they have their strengths. And the first year, I was trying to implement a system and what we want to do, how we want to work and all of that. And I started to listen much more this past off season and to understand what they do really well and trying to put them in situations to be successful. And at the same time, I want my coaches to continue to grow. I believe that I have several assistant coaches on this staff that deserve the opportunity to be head coaches in this league. They're outstanding, smart, committed, treat people the right way. Like, they make me better. And my biggest strength is actually my coaching staff. I mean, I never talk about expectations. I always talk about high standard. And for me, that starts with every single day. How we practice, how we prepare, how we treat each other, how we represent Toronto Raptors and the city of Toronto and the country of Canada. We take all of those things very seriously. We know who we represent. We know how big of a market Toronto is. We know how everybody wants us to do well and to succeed and to be very successful. And that starts with daily fights. There is no final goal. We want to position this organization to be contender to win championships for a stretch of 10 years. When we win the championship, and we will win it one day here, when we win the championship, that's not the end goal. The goal is going to be go do it again. So everything we do over here, we're trying to build on good habits. On everything we're trying to do is trying not to skip any steps. And for us, it's going to be very, very important to have really high standard and play to that standard. Scotty Barnes is a unicorn. He's an amazing player. I love Scotty Barnes. I love everything he does. Scotty Barnes is the reason why our defense was so good and improving this season, because Scotty Barnes puts so much into it. He owns it. He's talking to his teammates. He's motivating them, and he's setting the standard by playing really, really hard. So I'm really proud of all of his improvements this year in that regard. Scotty Barnes is a leader of our group. did outstanding job. At the age of 23, he was able to keep our group together, to keep everybody believing and trusting each other. And offensively, I definitely allowed him to experiment much more this season. Post ups, with mid ranges, with drives. He's such a player that he has a lot of tools, and it's important for him and it's important for me to identify what are the best tools in that bag that we can use and that we can sharpen and that we can improve. So I have a pretty clear idea, what this summer needs to look like for Scotty and how he needs to make next steps in his growth. And I know that he's going to be working extremely hard to achieve all of those. Talk about with linguistics first. What is a sacrifice? Sacrifice is something that you need to do and you're not willing to do. That's really hard. That's a sacrifice. And I don't think when we talk about character of our guys, Brendan Ingram and Scotty Barnes and Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett or Grady Dick or any of the guys that we have on a team, that playing winning style of basketball and playing for the team, that's not a sacrifice for them. They're blessed that we have players that are capable to do multiple things. That they can play make for others, that they can score, that they can be aggressive. For me, the most important thing is going to be we really need to make quick decisions. We cannot be holding the ball. We need to be making simple decisions and simple reads. When we talk about the best player in the world, in my opinion, my personal opinion, that's Nikola Jokic. And why Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world? Because he makes 100% of time, he makes the right decision. Not 85%, but 100% of time. What I mean by that, if he has opportunity to score one-on-one and you don't send a double team, he's going to score. If you're sending two on him, he's going to find open man and he's going to find the best man that he can find open there. So just playing the right way, not having agenda. If Scotty Barnes is going to dominate the post up and score every single time, like I'm sure that his teammates are going to be happy that you're scoring if you're dominating there. When they start putting two players on him, he's going to be finding wide open people, and now we're going to be knocking down open shots. If Ingram is playing pick and roll and they cannot stop him and he can get all the way to the rim and score, we're going to cheer for that. But if they put two on the ball and now somebody is open, there's going to be expectation for him to make the right decision. So we're going to be creating those habits from day one over training camp and really focus on that. And during the summer, all of the guys will have like very clear idea what is the vision and how we need to play. On defensive end, with us winning more games, definitely he's the player that needs to be in conversation for all defensive team. That's how much he does for our team, and that's how much he makes the difference on the court. I think that there are several areas for him that he needs to continue to do, and just to become more efficient. We all know that for the last 2 months he really struggled with his right hand, dribbling, passing, shooting. He was constantly in the pain. He played through that. I give him a lot of credit, playing through that and playing on that uncomfortable pain that he was feeling all the time. And I think it's going to be very important for him just to be efficient in all of those situations, to be more efficient, to have higher percentages of shots. But his decision making and playmaking is there. When he was our backup point guard, due to all the situations that we went through this year, he did struggle with the turnovers, but also that helped him big time to improve and to have those reads. So when he became secondary ball handler, he was already much better. So I think that he's going to be just fine in that regard. He just need to improve efficiency there. We do have conversations with the front office. They are aware of the needs for the team. Bobby and Masai, our scouting group, they're doing relentlessly during the whole season, and they're going to continue preparing us for that moment. They know what we need to add and what we're looking at. So all of those answers, you'll have to wait for some 24 hours to get them tomorrow. Um, I'm really excited about tempo. I'm gonna try to go see as many games as I can when they play in town. I think it's gonna add to our city that we already have amazing teams, and this is such a sports city. It's gonna really help the whole community here. Everybody's exciting. When I drop off my son in school, some of the parents are already bragging. They have tickets, season tickets bought. So there is a lot of excitement about Tempo coming and starting to play. I uh, I love coaching community. We have very good relationships with local coaches here at the high school level, at college level, and when we at Tempo, I'm definitely looking forward to connect with coaches on that team and learn from them and continue to. Uh, I told Brandon that I don't want to change him. He's already an amazing basketball player. I don't want to change him. He needs to be himself. People are always going to talk about, oh, mid range, that shot, that shot. Brother, if you can make a shot from that position there, go for it. What I'm looking more importantly is, things that we talked about. Like we cannot be holding the ball and, everybody's standing for one player to make a play. That doesn't matter who the player is. All decisions that we gotta make it quickly. I think there's a way how game is evolving. We're doing as a team, we're doing a really good job of spacing the floor and cutting and moving. So Brandon is very very good passer. I think he doesn't get enough credit of how good a passer he is and how he can play and make for his teammates. So putting him in that role and like seeing him how he's playmaking, and now one time it's gonna be Scotty in pick and roll. Now next time it's gonna be Brendan. Next time it's gonna be quickly, and how they're gonna be creating for each other is gonna be very very important for us. And when we do that, everybody eats. When we win, when we share the ball, when we play the right way, everybody eats. As you can see, like we're really doubling down on our defense and the way we want to play, and that demands a lot of intensity and effort and then smarts. I'm a big believer that the way game is developing is having two-way players. And we made a lot of strides on that defensive end. We need to make more strides on offensive end there as a group. And I think like anybody who's going to be able to do both things is going to win more roster spot, and is going to win more minutes on the team. So the way game is developing, like there is no more like, oh, he's just like specialist at doing that. So I think all the players, and we have very healthy competition on the team. They're gonna be pushing each other towards that goal, to be able to guard multiple positions and to be able to score different. So Michael, if I wanted to keep people happy, I would be selling ice cream. I would not be a basketball coach. So my job is not to people happy. My job is to keep people accountable, to help them to grow, to put them in a situation to be successful. With that being said, I cannot play 15 players every single day, every single night in a game. So competition, they're going to be fighting for it. They got to stay ready. You might be playing one night, you might be playing 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Are you going to be a good teammate? Like all of those things come down to work that the guys put in. So I want to have that problem. I want to have guys available. I want to have great players on the team. I want to be facing those decisions. So I'm not shying away from that. That's a tough question. There are several players in different areas that stood out. There might be players that I knew that they can do certain things offensively. They really improved defensively. There were some guys that did good job defensively and then show progress on offensive end. Really tough. I cannot point out one player there for you. He has such a character that leadership comes natural to him. He's doing outstanding job of communicating with veterans, communicating with rookies. It's such a natural thing for him to get the people around him. A lot of times on the road, he was the one that vets are gonna say, Jamal, organize the dinner we're going. He would set it up. Um, every time when we have birthdays, he's the one that always likes to sing and then dance and do all of that. All of those like small traits like put him in a position that everybody likes him. And just the way he competes night in and night out is allowing him to be more vocal. So for him, the challenge is going to be to be in elite conditioning, to continue improving. I told him several times, like his left hand, he needs to improve that a lot this summer. So he is aware of that. So he's down to do everything he needs to do this summer to improve as a player. And the more he's improving the player, the more comfortable he's going to be on floor. The more comfortable he is, his voice is going to be better. So I really want him to continue growing with his voice, and he's doing it in such respectful way, not taking away from any of the vets or any of other guys on the team. So that voice is very, very important for us. Thank you for bringing that up. Unfortunately, he did not stay healthy. He had that injury and he was not able to play with us down the stretch. He's doing great. He did a full recovery. He's clear to start doing contact and everything else. So once we come back, we'll be with workouts. He's going to be ready to take off. For our whole young group, especially for him, I'm really looking forward to see them playing in the summer league. That's going to be great. Middle of the summer, great checkpoint to see how we're doing, how we're improving. And so I'm really looking forward to see him, go out there and play and compete. We saw in the workouts and the games that he played with 905 that he made huge strides this year. Really proud of the work that he was putting in. And we're going to continue develop him as a very young player that I think he has a lot of potential and a lot of growth. Yes, I would like to continue with that tradition. I think those hospitals, or hospitals around the whole globe that are working with kids and families, sick kids here in Toronto, St. Jude in Memphis, and Tirshova Children's Hospital in Serbia. They're doing outstanding job. Having a chance to talk to staff in those hospitals, I know how much they work, how much they're dedicated, how much they want to help the kids. Me and my wife, we are, parents. We have a 7-year-old boy, and we understand how important it is to have health and have family, and we understand how much those hospitals are doing to help families in need. So it's a small gesture from our side that we want to help, and anything we can do to help them, it's big for us. This year we had a chance to take our team to St. Kids Hospital, and they were really touched by what I saw there as well. So all of those initiatives are tremendous. They might not be, they might not take a lot from us, but they mean a lot for all those families in need. That role on the team is very important. I think that Garrett Temple did unbelievable job this year with our team. Last year as well, but this year he took it to another level. Small thing like he did not play video games for the last 7-8 years, but because we're such a young team, he started playing video games again. So he can be connected with the guys. Just seeing him, the way he approaches every practice, every preparation, every shoot around, every play group, every game, the attention to detail. I think it's outstanding for young players to see that example. I think there is a lot of value when you have player that went through all of those, that went through different epochs of NBA, that has experience of playing 15 years ago, 10 years ago. League is changing, obviously, but some things don't change. So, winning is not changing. How you go about business, that's not changing. How professional you are, that's not changing. How you treat people around yourself, that's not changing. And having somebody like Garrett was outstanding, very valuable for me. I would go and consult with him on many things, and he did an outstanding job in every practice, setting the standard for guys. So I do believe that it's important to have somebody like that on a team.
It's Damon Stoudemire, and thanks for watching the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel. Check out our latest videos and subscribe for more.
Hello, Raptors Nation. Welcome to Quick Court, your go-to spot for the latest Toronto Raptors updates as the 2024-2025 season comes to a close. Coach Darko shared his vision for the future during his exit interview. The Serbian mastermind emphasized the importance of defense as the team's foundation and identity moving forward. He revealed that multiple players approached him saying, "Coach, you've got to double down on this. Our defense gives us energy." What? Do you think about Coach Darko's defensive-minded approach? Is this the right direction for our Raptors? Despite limited playing time together, the core four of Barnes, Barrett, Quickly, and Poeltl show tremendous potential. The coach specifically praised Scotty Barnes as a unicorn and credited him for the team's defensive improvements this season. At just 23, Barnes has emerged as the undisputed leader of this young squad, keeping everyone together through challenging times. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay updated on all things Raptors. Rajakovic also highlighted the importance of the upcoming summer, calling it critical for the team's development. Players will get a few weeks off before diving into intense individual improvement programs. The coaching staff has already started analyzing offensive and defensive projects to elevate the team's performance next season. Are you excited about what this young core could become with another summer of development? Comment below with your predictions. Remember to like this video and join our Raptors Nation community for daily updates. Until next time, this is Quick Court, where Raptors fans come first.